Welcome, welcome. We are gonna do some GvG commentary. This is an AT between Put on Probation, NoGG and Spreadsheet Boys XLS. They've currently played each other in one unrated match. I believe it's the second round now of the AT. And hopefully they're gonna be scrimming each other a bunch more and we'll get to see some matches. So we're gonna dive right in. Looks like maybe Rudy playing as well. Hopefully they've got a full team. Gonna dive right into the unrated match between NoGG and XLS. This is gonna be a little bit of light talking, not much talking because I'm eating lunch at the moment. Anyway, it's frozen now. It's Mayflux. Mayflux, so that means that if you don't bring an elite skill, you get +2 to all your attributes, you get extra health regeneration, and you get extra energy regeneration. So, right out of the gate from XLS, we're seeing 2 Paragons. Those are boosted a lot by the Flux, since there's not that great Paragon elites these days. You don't really need an elite on Paragon. And Mesmer's, of course, very good because you can just run the regular E-Surge bar, but with E-Burn, and you get a lot of advantage from the Flux. So a big damage build coming out of XLS. NoGG, on the other hand, is running a more standard build. With 2 melee, no Dervish, and Ranger double Mez. NoGG gonna take the center. So this map, of course, Frozen Isle, is much better for builds that can split than builds that can only aviate. It's a very wide map, very long flag path where there's numerous ways you can get to the flag stand, so very good if you can split your team apart on this map. So NoGG is splitting right away, giving up flag stand position. XLS running flag on the Mez, defending on the number 8. So there's going to be 3 damage for NoGG at their main team against the 2 monks of XLS. So if NoGG gets this flag in, then they're going to be in a very good position. Yeah. Fortunately, fortunately for EOC I should say, NoGG's split is not particularly strong, can be defended by the Mez because they don't have much healing. Especially no healing on the warrior, except for maybe the Flux. Ranger probably has a lot of healing actually, looks like he's running a Flux bar. So he'll be actually kind of difficult to kill. Concussion shot as well. And now, NoGG sending a second Mesmer. So this is... It's very risky for NoGG on their front side, but it's very risky for EOC on their backside, on the split defense. Yeah, XLS takes death on the split defense. Sorry, I said EOC, I meant XLS. XLS sending back the prob monk, so they're going to be defending with 2 monks against 3 damage in the base. And XLS is in full collapse. Not a good start for XLS. OGG is now capping. Prob monk is dead too. It's after time. May catch out the warrior here, there's no monk nearby. Runs into the paragons and he's dead. Lead the way. What does that do? Speed boost. So NoGG taking the center, trying to control the flag route with their ranger. Very, very difficult for XLS in this position. Good thing the Mez Assassin has empathy, but it's still going to be too difficult for him to run the flag alone through this Ranger. So if NoGG just did stick up here and kept the Ranger at the flag path, there wouldn't be much of a route for XLS to get back in the game. As they couldn't both defend their base and run a flag very easily. They'd have to dedicate a whole flag running team, which means they split their build apart, which is not good for their build. OGG still looking to split apart XLS, XLS Mesmer looking to assist the back, but now he gives up on it. Also interestingly, XLS does have Monk Ellie on the number 8s, which means that they do have some additional split defense. He's probably has a snare, which means they're hoping to defend hard splits with snares and collapses, but it hasn't worked so far. I mean, they haven't really tried to collapse much so far, so. Number 8's caught out though. Spribon keeping him alive. Here comes Rend. Here comes Pin Down next. The Ranger gets close. There's the KD. Doesn't even need the pin down. Monk just survives. Ranger doesn't go on him. The Monk stays alive. Warrior not fluxing. You can see his health is not regenerating. And XLS gives up on the flag. Pushes NoGG back in main. And now the solo monk at main for XLS gets jumped and killed. Yep, defending, that's what happens sometimes when you defend with 2 monks. He gains 2 damage. 3 damage of NoGG at main, gang up on the 1 monk of XLS. Take him out. And even though they have the snare on number 8, XLS really don't have a build that's very good for collapses. They've got the fallbacks, at least not good for collapses on this map. They've got the Axe Warrior, who has an adrenaline speed boost. Doesn't have Harrier's Grasp. Yeah, Harrier's Grasp. Not very good for collapses. They got no Ranger, they got no other knockdowns except for the Warrior. Maybe the Mesmer has a snare, but possibly not because he's got empathy. Very difficult to collapse on this map for XLS. And NoGG is still in complete control. there we saw no GG push in XLS's base, try and take the 8v7 while the warrior of XLS was timed. Wasn't able to get anything. And pulls back and re-establishes their split position. Now this time keeping the split side in the center instead of on the flag path. And XLS pushing the center. Going after NoGG's split team, forces NoGG's main to follow, but NoGG's main now instead decides to go straight for the base, not taking the bait. And Prot Monk following of XLS, 8 monks already in position. Pushing with a 7 monk actually is NoGG. And now NoGG's in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Probably want to pull out from here. Yeah, quite a risky position for NoGG. And then the warrior is a little bit overextended, takes a death. And NoGG re-establishes their position. Very good move by XLS there though. Diving center to go after the split. Forcing the main team to make a decision, do they follow or do they rush the base? Puts NoGG in a difficult position when they have to make that decision. So now NoGG just winning the straight up 8v8. Oh, just as I say that, the ranger goes down. Ranger's back up. Mesmer of XLS is now back up too. NoGG a little unsure, pulling back. Aragon's trying to push up. Find targets. Warrior. Sorry, not Warrior. Mesmer goes down. Mesmer goes down unpacked. And XLS retreats again. Not raising this time. Probably a little bit demoralized at this point. Nothing seems to be working. The game plan, which is the AV8, now no longer working either. As they have DP and are facing a boosting team who also has a decent AV8 build. GvG's Mesmer's trying to snipe out monks. There's the base res. And GvG are diving monks. Does this give XLS an opportunity? Mesmer's got to be careful, he's on 30 DP, they're going for him. It's prodded. They're overlapping with each other. Warrior balled up. Not punished for it. Warrior dead. Warrior's back up though. Very quick res. It's a pact from the Mesmer. XLS gives up a little bit more position, tries to get the pit NPCs into the fight. GvG is a little bit hesitant. Not willing to dive into the pit just yet. Looking for kills on the warriors because there's not many targets in range. They don't dive into the pit. And GvG decides to pull back. Don't want to dive into the pit just yet. Now looking for openings. Warrior of GvG goes down. Aegis on the pact. Pact gets off. Looking for the warrior kill again. Nope. Looking for the Mesmer. Frenzy Warrior of XLS taking a lot of damage. For the prot now. XLS playing aggressive again. There's empathy on the Death Pacted Warrior. Ooh. There's Pact kill on the Warrior of XLS, who now has a lot of DP. Frenzy Warrior, very easy to kill these days with Mind Rack and with all the Mesmer damage. Very difficult bar to play in 2025. Not just difficult, it's also generally pretty underpowered as well, compared to other bars, like Hammer Warrior, thanks to Prot Strike, E-Smash, can put out more damage than a Frenzy Warrior generally. At least with the warriors we have these days, and the builds we have these days. And looks like that's it. While we wait for the next match, we've got an 8-team match between Rudy with a henchman versus XLS. Interesting build here from Rudy. Got the anniversary scythe on a necro. But Eddie's defense gets instantly wild throwed though. And XLS just hunting down Rudy at this point. X's Vigor. Interesting. Very rare skill. I'm gonna see if we have the other match on obs yet. Oh. Still not quite yet. That's a lot of Ellies. Got a French guild in the AT. Cool to see. Fortunately, still needing one more player. Gonna take a look if anyone's got a stream running. The current game between XLS and GvG. Looks like Maga does. It's 14 minutes into the game, so I think it's just a few more seconds until we see the game. Here we go, second match of the day between XLS and GvG. First map was Frozen. Hang on, can I do this? Hey, there we go, camera unlocked. Yes, first map was Frozen. And XLS had the 8v8 build, so at a huge disadvantage. They still have the same build, but now it's a meditation, which is a much better map for them. Still splittable though, so GvG still have other options if they do not want 8v8. It's going to be interesting. I think that GvG might be forced to split because XLS's build can pump a lot of damage. XLS in the blue and GvG in the red. We already got a ranger out the top for GvG. I'll keep it unlocked. Flag coming out the bottom for GvG. Instant cap, then they're going to pull back. And XLS passing to the Prot Monk. GvG coming with the second flag on the Mesmer. Ranger is undefended currently. Number 8 Monk of XLS actually now goes to defend. And GvG Looks very scared to fight this. It would now be a 7v7 with 4 damage, 3 monks from no GG, 5 damage, 2 monks from XLS, holding on prot, so extremely aggressive from XLS. Oh, Warrior takes a lot of damage in Frenzy. Dervish of no GG considers splitting but goes back to main. This is actually a pretty risky, I was going to say risky position for XLS holding on the prot like this without an 8 monk, but they score an early kill on the Warrior, and if there's no res, there is a res. So now it's actually a very dangerous position for XLS. They have to score kills very quickly. They do. Pack kill on the Warrior. Death 30. Nope, still 15 DP. So XLS playing extremely aggressive with their 8v8 build in the 7v7 here. And it pays off. Fortunately for them, now they're going to cap on the prot. Ooh. Ranger hits him with the pin down from the top. So this is really good news for XLS that they can win a 7v7 in such an aggressive position like that. Shows that no GG really has no chance to win any 8v8 or 7v7 in this game. Well, perhaps if they do a little bit better keeping the Warrior alive, then they'll have more of a chance, but are they willing to risk it again? Fortunately, with 15 DP on the Warrior, it's still possible for them to take the 7v7 again, but they will have to, again, focus a bit more on the Warrior. Make sure their backline is in range of him. So no GG trying to get this flag through now. This is gonna be interesting. Again, XLS playing extremely aggressively. No GG trying to keep alive long enough to get this flag in. XLS do not have a backup flag. There's shock from the Axe Warrior, who by the way has no elite. So he's fluxing his bar. And now XLS has to run a flag, as no GG was able to cap, and they're going back on the Mez Assassin, which shows that they are no longer playing all out aggressive. They're playing a little bit more balanced now. No GG, however, right now do not have to run a flag. That means that they're keeping their 4 damage here against the 2 monks of XLS, which gives them a significant advantage. It's difficult for XLS to kill here. It's a lot easier for no GG to kill here. You got 2 Mesmers for no GG against 2 monks of XLS. They are going hard for the monks. Your monk goes down. They need to keep alive long enough to get the Mesmer back here, so they can get their offense rolling again. So they just need to survive and pull back a little bit more. They are surviving. Okay, so now we have the 7v7 again. Frenzy Warrior takes a lot of damage again. If XLS cap here, then no GG is going to have to pull back all the way. It's going to be difficult though. XLS still only have 2 monks. The Mesmer's getting blocked with the flag. Warrior probably needs to get away from this ball up, because he can take a lot of damage like we see there. XLS do manage to cap though, and now we're almost capped. They haven't capped quite yet. They need to cap quickly. Yeah. Okay, it looks like maybe their 8 cheated to main, interestingly. Would have been a smart move. Oh, XLS takes too long to cap though, and they start wiping. Oh, really unfortunate for XLS. Had they capped there, they would have been in such a good position. They had all their offense, and no GG is forced to run a flag, so no GG would have had to pull back all the way to their base. Fortunately for XLS, it's not the worst time to wipe. No GG do not have enough time to end the game. And it looked like maybe the number 8 monk of XLS was cheating to main team, which would have been a really smart move there, but then he went back to defend split. So if he went to main, sacrificed his footman and archer, would have let XLS guarantee the flag cap, and then in that advantageous aggressive position that they're in, where no GG has to run a flag, could have potentially been a few kills at least for XLS. Anyway, XLS taking more deaths here. Try to get in range of the shrine. Paragon might get after time. He's pretty far away from the shrine. Not looking good for him. Bit of a mistake. But he will be pacted. So as long as he doesn't die again, he'll be fine. Oh, actually, they don't score the kill on the Paragon, so good move by the Paragon in hindsight. Doesn't get the DP. And now no GG is in retreat as they're in an AV8 once again. They're pulling over the top, which is a little bit tricky. They have the archer and one of the footmen down though at the front, so it's not going to be as difficult as it might normally be. The monk's getting stuck though. And that's not good. No GG has to push back in again because the prop monk is stuck. They don't have a lot of AoE though. Remember, there's no E-Surge. There's no Balthazar Dervish, he's a Flux Dervish, so there's no AoE burning. Prop Monk does get away though. And the Ranger of no GG looks to split through the bottom again. XLS tries to push out, tries to push their advantage here while they have all their damage together. It's close to scoring a kill, but not quite. Bit of a late shatter there. Still close to the kill actually. And now the Ranger is defended in base, so NoGG's Ranger defended by XLS's 8 Monk. NoGG takes the death though. Losing the 7v7. And NoGG's in retreat. They're about to boost. So they will recover from that death as long as they can regain their positioning. The monks are pulled out. Sorry, the monks are pushed in, rather. The number 8 monk of NoGG is in a very unfortunate position here. He dies. He will not be rezzed in time. He'll base res. Yep, there's the base res. Almost got off the res in time, but not quite. And now the prop monk of NoGG is caught out. NoGG now with 2 monks against 5 damage. Oh no, the number 8 monk of NoGG there grabs a flag instead of rushing to main team. Huge mistake. Now they risk taking more deaths than they would have otherwise. Now he drops the flag to come. Huge mistake there, I think. Fortunately for them, it looks like it made no difference. But quite a risky move. Nonetheless. Made no difference because that pro monk was going to die anyway, and they took no other deaths. No GG though, still have to get back. Oh, the Frenzy Warrior goes down! XLS's Frenzy Warrior goes down to the Mesmers of no GG. And showing once again why Frenzy is a very risky skill. Especially in this flux of all fluxes. Frenzy, where you're guaranteed to play against very high Dom Magic, Dom Mesmers, with E-Burn and with Mind Rack. Frenzy is not always the easiest skill to play. Alright. So XLS not pushing their position. No GG is splitting out with 2 damage now. It's the Flux Dervish, Flux Ranger, defended by XLS's... I don't know. I don't think he's fluxed. No, he's not fluxed on number 8. He does a Heal Burst, I believe. And... Mesmer over here. Just reading the chat. I don't know if you remember me, it's Doom. I'm trying to get Tanner to play again. Oh, Tanner, nice. That's cool, you guys making a guild again. With Red Gem too. Very cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, Red Gem's playing here for XLS on Paragon. Awesome. That'd be cool to see. Oh, what happened here? I guess Frenzy Warrior died again on Pact. Forces XLS to pull back. Yep, XLS now in a push back position again. Push back all the way to their pit again. But they've got all the monks up. They've got the paragons up, who I assume have a little bit of defense. I think both of them have fallback. They've got one Mesmer up still. So they may take a couple more deaths here, but I don't think that GvG will be able to end the game. I think they won't be able to end the game. The 8 monk of GvG is now coming to XLS's base. So GvG have to be a little bit careful still, because it is only a 6v7 and they're pushed into XLS's pit. So it looks like a huge advantage visually. Well, I guess now they score all the kills on all XLS's backline. Still not going to have enough time to end it though. And there's the after time kill on the Paragon. Didn't get it earlier in the game, but does get it now. Anyway, that should be a res. Yep, there's a just res. And now it's an 8v8 again. GvG haven't boosted yet. No, they have boosted and they're about to boost again. Looks like the warriors are a soft spot of GvG here. Seen a lot of warrior kills. There's another one. Here comes the res. Doesn't even need the Aegis. Gets it off. Warriors back up. Probably still got good morale though, given the 2 boosts and some kills. And GvG retreats again this time. Ooh, it does get snared. I was going to say that they're retreating in a bit of a better position, but the Mesmer gets snared and body blocked. So forces GvG to stay, and he's on XLS's side of the stairs as well, so he's got a long way to get back through this choke point. XLS though is not looking too aggressive. They're not going to push up and body block. They're almost score a kill on the Mez. They're a little bit cautious, despite their build advantage in this position. I think we shouldn't keep spiking their front line actually, you're just getting lucky. Yeah, possibly. Well, frontline are very squishy to Mesmers though, and Mind Rack is going to hit much more than on other characters, since they don't have much energy to begin with. So sometimes you'll find that warriors can be squishy targets, but yeah, it is a bit of luck, I guess. Sometimes you just find the warriors feel like they're easy to spike as well, because maybe the monks are a little bit scared to push up and the warriors are feeling a bit aggressive, so they'll be a little bit too extended. And all that armor ignoring damage can take him out very quickly. Anyway, GvG takes 2 deaths there, pulls back all the way to the base. So XLS say that they were spiking the warriors to get the monks out of position. Yeah, that's a good idea. Forces the monks to push up when you spike warriors. Very true. Especially when you have the big damage from the Mesmers to spike the warriors, it really forces the monks to push up, and then they'll be in range of the interrupts. Easier to spike. And they've got the double Paragon midline, so they've got range deep wounds, which helps a lot as well. Means that the monks have to constantly stay in range of the warriors basically. They can't just follow frontline into the range of the warriors. Anyway, GvG takes these deaths at an unfortunate time. XLS does have time to end it. There's still a pact here. Interrupted though. And no more reses. So XLS's build advantage is enough to fight through the huge morale difference. Score kills, kill the Guild Lord, game over. Different story to what we saw in Frozen before. I personally think that spiking warriors with a long range deep wound and double mesmer true damage is really noob. Well, I mean, it depends. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I think generally, especially in Mayflux, when the Mesmers have 18 Dom Magic and the Paragons have 18 Spear Mastery as well sometimes, it can be really strong. Also, like I said, you basically guarantee the Mind Rack damage. And when you force the monks to push up like that, then they're going to be in range of the Paragons as well. The Paragons can easily hit them, because they're basically turned into midliners at that point. They can't keep a safe position, they can't kite the Paragons very easily when they have to push up for the Warriors. Okay, what do we have coming up now? It's round 3 of the AT right now. Guess these guys are probably scrimming again right now, but it's... Oh, here we go. We got no GG versus FR in the AT. Looks like it wasn't a long game though. Just gonna check out Maga's stream. Yep, they're scrimming right now. No GG versus Ectoles, but it's only just started. Okay, we're gonna see no GG versus FR while we wait for the next no GG XLS game. FR with the triple frontline, or a Paragon, who I guess is probably not a frontline. I don't know, do people count that as a frontline or a midline? Anyway, he's going to be having a spear and a ranger assassin who's probably flexed, and a mesmer. No GG with their standard double front, ranger double mes. I wonder about the dervish. I know this is always a debate this month in May. Is it worth flexing the dervish and not bringing the avatar? Avatar Balthazar does a lot of damage, the burning, the extra adrenaline. And when you don't have Avatar Balthazar, you're not really gaining much. Dervishes typically don't need the extra energy regen. The extra, ooh, he's got Vow Party, so that makes him a bit more tanky. Yeah, you don't really need the extra energy regen. The health regen doesn't really matter unless you're pushing and splitting, because you can still get spiked out and the health regen won't help you much when you're getting spiked out. So you're only gaining a little bit of damage from the extra Scythe Mastery, but it's not much damage. Anyway, FI actually have a Lisa Dervish, defended by a Rend Ranger. Almost conk shots the Mystic Regen. Oh! Avatar ends. Dervish is in trouble. Here comes Mesmer as well. Dervish is dead. Oh, and Mesmer even has empathy. And now NoGG is going to bring all the damage to main, actually going back for a flag first on the Mez. So it's still going to be 7v7 as long as FR does not run another flag. So it should be a stable fight until flags come into play. Frenzy Warrior takes a lot of damage. And now we just wait for this flag to come in. And FR to start taking a huge amount of damage. No GG already going for the backline. Here's the Mesmer now. You already have flag cap days, by the way. Men condition on the Prot Monk, I wonder. So Prot Monk is fluxing. Interesting thing this flux is that when you flux your Prot Monk, well, I guess when you don't have RC in general, which even if you aren't fluxing your prot, people don't bring RC much anymore, it's difficult to remove the dazes from the ranges. Usually when people are running AOF prot, they just have 3 copies of draw, which means that daze just gets passed around. So daze from the ranger can be pretty strong. Much more spammable too with this flux ranger bar. Flux ranger can be a very big annoyance this month. I don't think that no GvG is looking to end it right now, just going for DP. So FR will be able to base res, it seems. Actually, they might go for it. They might just have time if they all go for it. If they get into the pit, break entourage, they think they will have time to end it. It's going to be close. I think that FR is going to base res, but I think they might not have time to reach the Lord. Anyway, FR is re-engaging a split, this time with the Ranger and the Lisa. And no GvG is just not even responding to it. Well, actually, they have their number 8 back, so they are responding. So they base res. Will they have time to save the Lord? Doesn't look like it, and that's game. Okay. Let's see where we're at with XLS versus no GvG's next unrated match. Checking Mega Stream. 6 minutes into the game. Six minutes. Okay, looks like it's going to be a while until the next game. What can I put up in the meantime? How do I put something else on the screen? Guess I should download an image to put as a background. Oops. Let's see. If I add this to OBS. Create new image. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to put the stream on pause until the next game shows up. It's going to be a while. If you want to watch it live from their team, I'm going to put a link in the chat to Maga's stream. He's playing for XLS. Just got to find it. Here we go. And when it's on OBS, I'll put the stream back on. So see you in a bit. Alright, match is back on OBS. Let's check it out. So once again, it's an unrated match between GvG and XLS. Same as we've been seeing. GvG with the same build, double front, likely a Flux Dervish, Flux Ranger, 2 Flux Mesmers, one of them Empathy, I guess, and XLS with their single Frenzy Warrior front who's fluxed, double Flux Paragons, double Flux Mesmers. Very strong APA build. Interesting that we haven't seen many collapses out of XLS despite having the snare on the number 8 monk. Anyway, GvG splits right off the bat, waits back for second flag with the Mesmer Assassin, brings first flag in on the very tanky Dervish. Flux Dervish with Valve Party. XLS defending with the 8 monk, delaying the cap a little bit. And now GvG pulls back all the way. Will they drop the flag again to the Prot monk? Looks like they might be looking for it. Holy Val, by the way. I guess that's for the Empathy. No, keeping the flag this time with the Mesmer Rit. Not running a second flag, so here we've got the 7v7 again. A very aggressive play from XLS here. 2 monks, 5 damage versus GvG's 4 damage, 3 monks. Looking for the Mesmer kill since he's holding flag. Ooh, lots of damage. Both teams looking for the Mesmer kills actually, not looking for the Warriors this time. Now Mind Racks on the Warrior. Warriors being very careful. Yep. Paragons are not positioned perfectly. You can see that they're actually quite far away. Or I guess maybe it's GvG that's positioning well away from the Paragons. But both of the Paragons have quite a range between them and their targets. So a lot of these spears will be dodged. Yep, and XLS is not able to find their offense and take a death on the Mesmer Assassin. Pack gets rupted. Looks like 2 pacts were rupted. Do they have a 3rd pact? They have a... Ooh, rezzed somehow. Something rezzed. Oh, it's base rezzed. That's what rezzed. And now XLS is in big trouble because they went all in on aggression, took the death, and now have to pull back. GvG is at full health everywhere. Ranger of GvG at the top is even contributing now. And not a good start for XLS, because if they can't win that 7v7 convincingly, then they're going to have to deal with the split. And XLS taking a lot of damage still. They have to consider perhaps giving up the Footman now. Cheating the number 8 to main, but it looks like it's a bit too late. As GvG is just camping out the monks now. Yeah, this Footman and Archer are definitely not worth all of these deaths. Would rather stay alive a little bit better and lose those NPCs. Lots of DP now accumulating on XLS. And boosting in a minute, so XLS won't have time to run the flag out after their base. And now giving up the Footman and Archer at the... when they've already lost their advantage of main. Guess they don't want to give up more of their pit than they have to, but if they're going to give up the Footman and Archer anyway, might as well have given them up much sooner. Especially in this position here where the number 8 of XLS is very close to the main team. definitely should have given up the footman and archer to the ranger at that point. No GG's in retreat now. Gonna re-establish their position now with these front NPCs dead, so if... yeah, XLS... very difficult position to be in now. They can't win the 7v7 now. They lost it when they didn't have DP. Now they do have DP, they're definitely gonna lose it. Unless they get lucky kills. And they've already given up some NPCs for nothing. So they're either going to have to give up more NPCs or they're going to have to collapse on the split. But they're just gone for the 7v7 again instead. Looks like they're trying to push out. Push out of their base a little bit, but man, they're taking some big damage. Yep, Hill Monk is taken out. They have to be willing to trade NPCs. To give up NPCs to have the number 8 Monk at main team. Because they're just losing the 7v7 too badly. Sound like a broken record at this point, saying the same thing. Anyway, now that they're pushed into this base, pushed into their base, if no GG doesn't pull back, then it will be an 8v8, which will be much more stable for XLS. Even with the DP and morale. Frenzy Warrior's got to be careful though. It's not much use frenzying in this position. I guess he didn't have Mind Rack, so it's pretty safe. Use Frenzy if you don't have Mind Rack. Yeah, he's playing it a bit safer now. And No GG is pulling back again, not giving XLS any opportunity. Putting the ball in XLS's court. So will XLS try and do anything differently this time, or will it be the same 7v7 main and solo monk defending? You know, something else that also goes in the ranger's advantage is that... ooh, there goes the Frenzy Warrior. As I was saying, with the... something else that goes in the ranger's advantage is usually these Mesmer Assassins have both Energy Surge and Energy Burn. But since they're fluxing, now they only have Energy Burn. Which means that it's a lot harder to kill the ranger than normal actually. And that on top of the ranger's additional survivability with extra regen naturally and extra regen also from trolls, means the rangers are very hard to kill. Because usually these Mesmer Assassins could actually be a threat to the rangers, but in this flux, not so much. Okay, Flux Dervish goes down. It's a good start. This 8v8 is proving much better than the 7v7, so especially with the ranger up the top here. Now the ranger is not getting anything, and it's essentially an 8v7 in XLS's favor. Snare on the warrior gets removed. And now XLS is defending again with the 8 monk. They have lost, what, just one knight? They're not too bad. But this position once again massively favors No GG. XLS's monks are going to get pushed again and stomped if they don't sneak up their number 8. Yep, Heal Monk is dead. They just can't survive with the 2 monk backline. They just have to change something. Anyway, they're in an 8v8 again. All of XLS is alive once again. Looking to sneak this monk. It's going to be close. Oh, almost eats the power spike. It doesn't. Dodges it nicely. Could have been a kill on him had he eaten that. Still very low though. Prop monk is caught out of position. Monks are going to need to push back in to heal him. But unfortunately the prop monk goes down. Still caught out a little bit, and XLS is not putting up their their damage yet. They need to start having a threat right now. Threatening kills. Warrior. There's Mind Rack. No research though. And now the damage of XLS starts. Question is, will they be able to survive long enough? Mesmers of No GG still playing aggressive. The only kill that XLS has scored so far has been on the Dervish, so maybe they'll look for that again. Paragon goes down though, but that'll only be 15 DP, and I think that they'll be able to get the res off. CA Daze here that's just getting drawn around. No way to remove it because they don't have RC. They maybe have purge conditions actually, so that could remove it. Looking for a kill on the Ranger now. Rangers also take a lot of damage from Mesmers because typically Mind Rack and E-Burn does a lot of damage against them, and they don't. Usually Rangers think that they're more tanky than they actually are. So it's always possible with double Mes to sneak a kill on Rangers. Dervish is a little bit aggressive. Pulls back though. Will XLS be able to stabilize? Looks like there was a kill on the 7 monk I think, and a base res. It's No GG. No GG is just playing too aggressive, I think. Especially now with the Mesmer down, No GG just playing only on the back line. Well, as I say that, they're on the Mesmer, but I mean the Mesmers of No GG are playing extremely aggressive on the back line. And if XLS wants to play this matchup again, they have to change something. They can't win the 77 reliably enough. They won it the first time we saw this matchup, but they have struggled this game. So the question is, will they change their strategy? Will they change their build? Or will they keep trying the same thing? Another thing they could do is perhaps add some extra defensive skills on the Paragons to help the 2 monks survive in the 77, but if they did that then they would also lose damage, and they need as much damage as they can get to win that 77. Because they're on a very limited timer, because if they don't score in that 77 quickly, they will die no matter what defensive skills they have. We'll see. I think that is the game we just saw. Is it? Let's see. Is this the same game? Maybe not actually. Yeah, but we'll find out quickly because at the start of the previous game, Rangers split right off the bat. XLS defended with 8. Held on the Mesmer Rit at main team, tried to win the 77. No GG pulled back. They fought in the front here, and No GG won that battle, so we'll find out if it's the same game. If we see that sequence again. Can't be the same game, right? Because that was like a 10-minute game. Yeah, can't be, I think. The fallback. Lead the way. Aggressive ended, looks like. Maybe he didn't put it up. And we have Ranger split, 8 defending, holding on the Mesrit. Yeah, I think this might be the same game. Sequence looks virtually identical. They're looking for the kill on the Mesmer Rit. They don't score it immediately. Yeah, I guess we'll just watch the same game. I wonder why a camera unlock works sometimes but not other times in obs mode. Maybe it depends on where you load obs from. Anyway, so something about the 7v7 is that I mentioned this last time that Paragons are not positioned particularly well. They should push up. Actually, now they're positioning better. Is this even the same game? Now they're positioning much better. Look at that. They're in perfect position. They're very close to all the targets. XLS though, take a death. Maybe I just missed when they pushed up into a better position. But I believe earlier on they were around here, but no GG's team was basically in this radius around them. As fallback, it's going to help a lot. Dervish not in position to get the Harry's grasps off. But Warrior stays behind the Bull Strike and then he eats the Harry's grasp and he's going to pull his whole team a little bit forwards. Yeah, I think this is actually... If the Warrior didn't get caught out there, they would have been further back and it wouldn't have been as low right here. Probably would have survived in the Paragon. So it's a mistake by the Warrior to get caught out. Yeah, it's the same game. It's got to be right. It's the exact same thing happens. Anyway, so saw what happened there. I wonder if XLS does the 7v7, what they could do differently. Like, we saw the Paragon positioning at the start wasn't the best, but then it improved massively to the point they had basically perfect positioning by the end of that 7v7. Paragons did. They could have dropped the flag, but then it risks getting returned because they don't have much movement control. The fallback could have been cleaner because they're not playing against many cripples and the Dervish was out of position to cripple. When XLS was pulling back, it's really the Warriors' fault for getting crippled out of position, forcing his team to fall back slower than they would have been able to otherwise. This is where XLS tries to push out of this choke point, but they're kind of failing at it. Mesmer pushes out, but look at... These guys are not in a good position. The Paragons should be out here. The target selection is really limited right now because of their positioning. Now they push out. I think this is where... No, this isn't where they score a kill on the Dervish. Yeah, this positioning is really awkward. These monks are not protected because the midline is so far back. If these Paragons were further out in the face of the Mesmers, then the Mesmers would have a little bit of a harder time camping out the monks. So I think it's just perhaps a little bit of indecision from XLS. You know, you've already lost this 7v7 matchup. Perhaps you're just a little concerned to play aggressive. And so you don't push out as much as you should. Critical chop, by the way. Resco. That's where they get a knight down. You know, especially with the snare. I mean, I wonder what even is the point of the snare on the 8 monk if they're not going to collapse ever. Makes you think, like, why bother? It's really unfortunate to see though that they're not willing to sacrifice NPCs for the player advantage. Because especially against a ranger that takes a very long time to kill NPCs, it's a very powerful move to make. And if you don't make it, you lose main team and then you end up losing NPCs anyway, then you it's as if you made the bet anyway, because you lost them. Like, you have these NPCs, you may as well use them, you know? Especially with, like, XLS's build isn't terrible at defending base rushes. So they could really sacrifice a lot of NPCs and still not be at risk of losing the game to a base rush. They've got at least one fallback. I think two, but at least one. But just not making the bets. Anyway, so this game continues. They scored a kill on the Dervish at some point in the base there. Paragons are positioned a bit better on this push out, but the just too much DP. Number 7 gets taken out by Mesmers. What else do we have? I don't think that there's anything else to watch at the moment. I think we may just wait until the next unrated match. I think they're in the unrated match right now. Let me check Maga stream actually. Nope, it says waiting for next match. Well, they're not in the guild hall, so I don't know who NoGG is fighting. Maybe Maga stream is on a delay. Anyway, next round of the AT is going to be XLS versus NoGG, and I don't know what the map is going to be. Let me check the map on Wiki. Tell me? Yes, it does. May. So May is Worms, Imperial, Meditation, Warriors, Frozen. So the last match is going to be on Frozen Isle. So I hope that XLS changes it up and doesn't play this Paragon build again on Frozen. I wonder what we're going to get to see. NoGG may keep their build since it's pretty good, I think, on Frozen. It's quite good actually. They've got the Valve Piety Dervish, very tanky, good at running flags, good at pushing flags. They've got the Ranger, just good in general against splits by splitting itself. It's got pin down, which can be difficult to dodge up close. It's got concussion shot, a lot of health, a lot of regen. It's got the Mesmer Assassin, which is also great at responding to splits and splitting. So NoGG might keep their build, but hopefully XLS switches it up. Alright, I'm going to take a short break while we wait for the next match. So I think it'll be an unrated. Anyway, see you soon. Hopefully should be seeing a game sometime soon. Any second now. Any second. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't play each other again. Which case, that would mean it's going to be a while until the next game. Actually, you know what? The games on the tournament battles obs here were 18 minutes ago, so they did scrim each other. Can't have been until these matches ended. So maybe just a few more minutes. Let's see. Okay, I'll give it a few more minutes. Here we go. At last. This will be the final match between them before the AT, I guess. Unless they have one more after this one. So we have, once again, No GG versus XLS. This time, no GG with one front, one Paragon, one Warrior Paragon, two Mesmers. So changing the build a little bit. This Warrior looks like Holly actually. It's funny. XLS with the same build that they've been running. And no GG going for an all-out AP8 to begin with. Second flag on the Mez. Meanwhile, XLS, no second flag, just gonna hold on their Mez. Maybe they'll pass it off. They get into the 8v8 and see that no GG is waiting for second. But this is a bit of an opening for XLS here. They are an 8v7 while no GG runs. No GG, of course, at the start of the game will have full energy on the monks, so it is difficult to score a kill in this little window that you have at the start. No GG pull back, bring out the second flag, and now we have a minute and a half of 8v8. XLS holding on the 8 monk, no GG holding on the Mesmer. So much more aggressive from XLS. XLS looks a little bit hesitant though, they're not really pushing out into the open. Their midline and backline are in the choke, whereas no GG is fully in the open basically, so much better defensive position by no GG. Going for the front line though. Both teams going for the front line. Yeah, you can see that XLS has got a bit of a split brain here. Their midline is in the front line because they're not pushing up properly. And take a death on the 7 monk. Resig used. Who has the Resig? Warrior has the Resig. Going for the front line. And get the front line kill, but the 8 kill in response. Picks up the flag on the Warrior. So no flag return. Pass to the prot mug! What a strange move. That's really odd. Now they can't get the Aegis off for the res. I think that's a bit of a mistake. Okay, they still got the pack through, but it's kind of late. That's base res on the Mesmer Writ. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't see the background sign is still there. Let me remove that. Thank you. Oh, that was covering the whole team of no GG. That sucks. Sorry about that. Okay. So, oh, hang on. No GG take deaths on the push. What happened there? Get a res off. Mesmer of XLS is going back for the flag now, so even though they just scored kills, XLS is really not in an advantage position. Still kind of even. Nochi is a little bit scared right now. Maybe they have low energy on the monks or something, but they're giving up ground even though it's 7v7 as they go back to run on their Mesmer Assassin. They're giving up ground. They're going to pull back to this open space back here. Oh, but they take a death. Was that on the Warrior? Death on the Warrior. That's a triple kill from double packed. Not good. And no GG is falling apart a little bit. Where have these kills come from? It seemed like no GG is taking kills when they taking deaths when they shouldn't be. They've got to pay more attention, but perhaps XLS have found that they can take out the Warrior Assassin. I think he's got 30 DP now. Take out a Knight. There's a base res for no GG. XLS going to pull out a little bit, take the open ground back here. Not going for a second flag, so XLS is all-inning a little bit here. Will no GG Run the flag out. They bring it on a Mez. They're going to pass it to a warrior when they see. Yep. They can't pass it to the DP'd warrior though. Maybe they're just going to split the DP'd warrior. That would be interesting. Looks like they're a little bit confused. Maybe they're splitting out the warrior now, hoping to pull something back and then run the flag out when the main team's in a 7v7. They're buying themselves a little bit of time. Well, quite a lot of time actually, but I think XLS is fine with that because it just means they're going to boost. Zones are coming out, actually. But we know this is a long game because it took a while for it to shop on obs. Anyway, that warrior splitting out is going to be followed by a Mesmer. That's really good. So that's good for no GG. The warrior with 30 DP is pulling back a Mesmer, which means that no GGs are much less risk here at the main team. They should be able to keep their NPCs alive. And it makes the position much harder for XLS. They have 4 damage here against 3 monks. Only 1 Mesmer instead of 2. It's a difficult position to push into as well. And if I'm XLS here, I'm honestly just letting the warrior go because he's 30 DP, he can kill some footmen and archer and stuff, but he's going to take bleeding, it's going to take him a long time. Probably just prefer to keep this Mesmer at main team because I doubt that XLS is going to be able to score kills from this position, in fact. Looks like they're getting close to dying. They're going to start pulling out now. It's a very difficult position to push into, especially when you're down. You don't have all your damage. So perhaps this is another case of XLS being unwilling to trade NPCs for an advantage at main team. Now they take a death here on the Mesmer Rit. Do have a lot of reses though. They've got Sig on the warrior, they've got 1 pact at least on Paragon. Now that they've pulled back a little bit, it will be an even fight. However, because it's 4 damage, 3 monks on both teams, it means it will be possible for no GG to run a flag out. Oh, flag actually came from the top here. I want to give that to the warrior Paragon or something, but... Oh, the heal monk goes down for XLS. Here comes the pact. Pact got disrupted. Both packs erupted. Both packs are out. Prob monk goes down as well. And XLS in full retreat. They get the boost though, fortunately. Very fortunate on that boost timing. No GG going back for a second flag on the number 8 monk. That's gonna mean that no GG can't push in. Warrior's gotta be careful. He's gonna eat the miasma right here. Okay, this warrior here though only has rush, so he won't be able to catch no GG's hammer warrior. Thank you, Triniwoo. Appreciate your comment. Okay, what do we see going on here? So that Hammer Warrior is still split, but now there's no one defending the Hammer Warrior. Now XLS is finally allowing NPCs to die, trading for an advantage at main team, and it's going to let them get out this flag. It's going to put no GG under a pretty high risk here. This is finally the position we want to see XLS in, or I want to see XLS in. Trading NPCs for this 8v7, and no GG have to be really careful right now. They're pulling back. Nice controlled pullback. Let's fall back, but the Paragons are not able to use it because they're attacking. And they should probably be capping though. They should be capping. Now they're going to have to pull back. They're going to lose a little bit of their kill threat while the Mesmer pulls back to cap, and that's gonna allow no GG to start running again soon. No GG is pulling back, so they're under a little bit too much pressure perhaps, and they don't feel like they can safely get this flag in. They're going to pull back. And XLS is bringing back their Mesmer to defend / run the flag, probably just to defend. They've traded the footmen, but it took a long time for no GG to get those footmen, so it was a long time where XLS had all 8 at main. Now they've passed the flag to the warrior on no GG. No, he's running the flag out, and XLS is not defending. They're bringing out the Mesmer with the flag. Good, so now they're trading. They're going to trade pit NPCs too. Very nice to see XLS making this bet. No, they are going to pass off the flag actually. They're not going to trade pit NPCs. Fair enough, because no GG are able to pull back from this position. But that means the game is a little bit stalled right now. A little bit stalled as neither team have all the damage here, but they do have all the healing. It's 3 damage, 3 monks for both teams. Then no one's gonna be getting a kill from here. Warrior will have lost a little bit of his DP from those kills that no GG scored. Mesmer half running flag, so interesting position. Perhaps advantages XLS because they can half run flags on the Mez. But looks like no GG is also half running flags. So both teams playing it safe. Mesmer of XLS now pushing the warrior out. Good decision making though, he doesn't sacrifice any flag time. And just more double running. Sneaky spike. Looking for the Mesmer kill. Oh, here we go. Here's a change. XLS sending back the 8 monk. Frenzy Warrior almost goes down to Mesmer damage. Number 8 monk now is going to what? Run the flag? Yeah, just run the flag. So XLS trying to keep as much damage at main team as they can for a little window while no GG double run. Didn't quite score a kill. Only have 1 Mesmer here, remember, so they haven't got double shatters. Their spikes will be much less powerful than if they had 2 Mesmers. One thing they could do, they could body block over here. The front gate of no GG. No GG doesn't have any AoE. Except for Cry of Frustration. So if no GG double runs on Warrior, it's very easy to block that position, but they take a death there on the Mesmer. So that was only 2 Paragons, 1 Mez scored that kill against 3 Monks. And no GG close to taking another death. Not good for an OGG to take death in that position. Very good job by XLS to figure out that they can actually find an opening for a kill there. You can see the Paragons were positioned right next to the monks. And score a kill now on the flag running Mesmer. And XLS is getting further ahead in this game. Warrior now is splitting back into the base, though defended by the Mez Assassin. And XLS is all of a sudden playing very well. They're looking for openings, they're finding them. The game has slowed down much more and they've been able to find their little opportunities. OGG though has recovered. They've been resigning though through this game, so it's perhaps morale's a little bit low. Perhaps they messed something up with their build or their strategy or something that they just want to reset. For a kill on the Mesmer, don't find it. Interesting, this Warrior Paragon bar, the Barb Spear variant, and Maiming Spear. Lion's Comfort as well, so quite tanky, interesting bar. Anyway, so what do we have going on here? We have the Mesmer of XLS. Oh, we have another kill just as I leave the main team. Death on the Paragon of XLS. Sorry, of no GG. So XLS is finding kills here in this 7v7. How are they doing that? Let's see, maybe it's the Paragon's positioning. Maybe they're just... I don't know. So the Paragon's positioning is perfect right now. They can hit so many different targets. No GG is perhaps a little bit confused, not sure what to do. Not sure whether they should push out or pull in. They're not running flag, but they are holding their position. For a kill. On the Paragon again. Don't find it though. Why are they not running flag anymore? OGG is getting very close to dying here in the 7v7. Mesmer of XLS is cheating down a little bit. Now at the 8v8, but XLS is perhaps in a bit of an awkward position here. NoGG is looking a little lethargic though. They're not pushing out to take advantage of the position, it seems. Got one footman in. Maybe they're just looking for a split. Yep, looking for a split now on the Warrior Paragon and the Hammer Warrior. Hammer Warrior does not want to go back to main team and get spiked out again by Mesmers and Paragons. And there's a death on the Heal Monk of no GG. It's after time. It's going to be a long time to res if they can't get the pacts off. There's a pact on somebody, on the monk. Mesmer Assassin though is going to be dead for a while. XLS sending back the number 8 monk. And Warrior Paragon going back to main team. I don't know about that because he's not going to be able to accomplish much. And main team is dead now, so it makes no difference. And XLS wins. No GG changed up the build a little bit, took out the Ranger for Paragon, switched out the Dervish for the Warrior Paragon, and lose the 8v8 at the beginning, or early in the game, I don't know if it was in the exact beginning. Took some DP on the Hammer Warrior, then split the Hammer Warrior off. And unfortunately, Hammer Warrior, not a great splitter, and able to be defended by the Mesmer. Trading the Footmen early, giving them to the Hammer Warrior for an advantage main team, and then defending the other base NPCs, the pit NPCs, with the Mesmer half running the flag, was XLS. And then while the game stalemated as both teams double ran, XLS finding the opportunities to score kills with their huge damage from the 2 Paragons and the Mesmer. Very interesting. Very interesting that they're actually able to find the opportunity to kill with the 2 Paragons and the Mesmer. Because you would think that would lack some damage, you know, it wouldn't be quite enough to score kills, but they were able to. Interesting. I would have to watch that again to see how it was that XLS was essentially killing through 3 monks with 3 damage. Anyway, now we have the final round of the AT. It's XLS versus NoGG on Frozen. And I think it's only just started a few minutes ago. So that'll probably take a while. Yeah, started 6 minutes ago. So that'll take a while to be on OBS. Yep, so I'm going to pause it now and I'll be back for that game in a bit when it's finally on OBS. So I'll see you soon. Here we go. It's on OBS. It's a quick one. No GG versus XLS. Let's see what gets changed this time. XLS, after that loss, going back to their safe builds that they've been playing. This AT. Probably the Flux Dervish with Valve Piety, Hammer Warrior. Sorry, this is XLS. This is a no GG. This is XLS picking no GG's safe build. And no GG also running that build as well. So it'll be Valve Piety. Hammer, Flux Ranger with Ren, Pin Down, Conch Shot, and the double Mez. And the same thing, most likely out of XLS. No longer playing double Paragon. Also Monk Assassin, no longer Monk Ellie. Ranger from no GG waiting back for the second flag and watching for a split. Mesmer from XLS taking the center. Nope. Going back for a second flag, I guess. 7v7 at the main team. 2 Mesmers out of no GG. 1 Mesmer, 1 Ranger out of XLS. So no GG probably with a stronger stand fight here. And XLS gonna cap right off the bat. Bit slow on the running here. Not sure what caused that, but he's a little bit behind where he should be. No GG's going for the Mesmer kill. Of course, having the 2 Mesmers here gives them a very big kill threat. XLS looking for the Dervish kill. Line back kill. Coward Warrior, not fluxing. I mean, I guess warriors don't flux. Hammer warriors especially. Doesn't get the coward on the ice though, and almost goes down for it too. Infused, I think? No? Ranger's getting linebacked as well. Yeah, it's an even fight, but no G is far ahead on the flag. Both teams looking for Mesmer kills. Mesmer of no GG was safe, is now getting trained, almost goes down. Prot strike, by the way, on the Dervish of XLS. It's something that no GG does not have. Both looking for kills on the flag holding Mesmers. And no GG setting a Mesmer back. And pushing with the Ranger. So no GG does not want the 8v8 actually. They want it to be a flag game. Dervish of XLS is following. Ranger is just being annoying though, pulling back damage. Coward Hammer with teleport can always pose a big threat, especially with Mesmers. No push coming out of XLS though actually, interestingly. So no GG runs the flag for free. XLS also have Warrior Rit instead of Warrior Assassin. He was also running E-Smash instead of Coward. So a bit less kill threat from XLS if they did push. GG looking a little bit unstable. Have to infuse. But now their position is advanced. They're far ahead on flag. XLS running through on the Dervish. Perhaps going to double run on the Mesmer Assassin up here if the Dervish manages to get the flag through. He's going. He's followed though. He's still at risk. Monks are far behind. He's gonna be safe though. Monks are now in range. Yes, camera unlocked. Mesmer goes down of no GG. Monks were not in range. Monks were pushed up a little bit too far. Here comes the Pact, gets off, Mesmer's back up. We see a bit of pushing now out of XLS. But no GG is ahead on flag though, so they don't have to run immediately. But meanwhile, on the backside, Mesmer Assassin of XLS is getting wrecked by the Flux Ranger of no GG. Getting totally destroyed. Hopefully he's able to survive. Oh, just survives. And he will take a while to regen. And this is going to hurt the flag game of XLS big time. Even though they scored a kill on the flag running Mesmer of no GG, he'd already capped and no GG was already out on flag, so still a very big advantage for no GG in this game. Rangers now pushing. It's going to help them a little bit, but it's going to take them a long time to rebuild the flag advantage. Long time. Dervish of no GG is following the Ranger. Dervish probably doesn't have much damage actually. We're going to have to see what he has on his bar. He's got Vow of Piety, I believe. I think it will take a long time to kill this Ranger, and without the energy surge plus energy burn, only one energy burn, the Mesmer can't do that much either. So very successful push. Even though it didn't look like it did much, it actually slowed down the flag decently. They just need to make sure they don't take a death here on the Dervish. It's going to be close. No, Monk's going to save him. Very well done by XLS on the push here. Very successful push. Slow down the flag much more than I thought he would have. By the way, purge conditions here. Which is going to help them get rid of the daze. Oh, which lucky fast cast dodges the daze. This monk is going to die though. He comes rend. Is he going to get rended? No, no rend. Oh, and the 7 monk of XLS goes down instead. Taken out by the Dervish and the Mesmer. But no GG's Mesmer goes down. Both teams are trading here. Can the Dervish... What's he doing? He's rezzing. I don't think Conkshot takes out a res, but it's taken a while, so maybe the monk will go down. There's no healing here for XLS. Now XLS's backside is going to die. Sorry, forward side, push side is going to die. Oof. Great play there by XLS. Love to see that push. Unfortunately, at the end of the fight, it didn't all go their way, but it's a great attempt by them. Unfortunately, it might be game. It's going to be close. Doesn't look like they're trying to end it. They might have the time for it. I think they're going to have the time for it if they go for it. Yeah, they should have it. Yep, and that's game. That's game. Just unfortunate timings on the deaths of XLS. If they had held on a little bit longer, they could have base resed. Nice try there. And congrats to no GG. Winning that AT. What can you say about that match? So it started off with no GG had 2 Mesmers at main, so they ostensibly had the kill threat. No GG was waiting back on the Ranger, XLS was waiting back on the Mesmer. But then no GG decides to cap first anyway, I think. No. I can't remember who capped first, but I know that NoGG wanted to get the flag game going. They pushed up, they capped, they double ran, or just sent their Mesmer back early to run. And then, as it evolved into a flag game, XLS was not pushing, and NoGG was running for free. And it looked like XLS was in a difficult position. Their backside was getting pushed, they were kind of spread all over their flag path. Their Mesmer in their base was having trouble defending against the Ranger of NoGG. But they were holding on, and eventually XLS started pushing. And they were very far behind on the flag when they started pushing, so there was a lot of work that they would have had to do to get a flag advantage. But it seemed like it was going very well for them when they started pushing. NoGG stopped running with the Mez, he started responding to the push, but they weren't able to score kills. They went for the Ranger, weren't able to kill him, went for the Dervish, weren't able to kill him, and then on NoGG's backside it ended up in a 3v3. It was XLS had a Dervish and a Ranger and a Monk. NoGG had a Mesmer, a Dervish, and a Monk. And NoGG took a death on the Mesmer, and at the same time XLS took a death on the Monk. And NoGG's Dervish was able to hide around the flag stand and res the dead Mesmer, while XLS trained the Monk of NoGG but were not able to take him out. And then NoGG collapsed because it was their favorable position to collapse. It was on their backside, so their main team just had to pull back. And then the 2v2 slash, I think it was 2v3 at that point after the res, quickly turned into like a 5, 6, 7v2. I think it was like a 5v2 and XLS wiped. And XLS took deaths in other positions as well, I think, around the same time. Anyway, the monks went down. It was a poor timing, unfortunately, and it snowballed into the Lord dying for the base res. But yeah, if it wasn't for that unfortunate timing on the death, it would have been on the deaths. Would have been a good game. Anyway, nice try by XLS. First time they changed build, this AT. It was difficult to mix it up. It can take a few games to get used to a build. Anyway, nice matches. I think that's the last one. Teams have expanded. So that'll be it for the stream. Thanks for watching. See you next time.